What's up, everyone? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday night. This is your host, Graham Powell, co-host over there, Bradley Brown. Say what's up, Brad.
What's going on?
March Madness is going on. It's officially March Madness week for both the men's and women's brackets. We're going to give you our picks for both tournaments. I made two each, men and women. One for the two for the men, two for the women. And we'll make some picks here on the show as well. But first, quick shout out to our sponsor, Rhino Races. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a marathon, and the Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice, screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your award will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify, Apple, and Google Podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. Okay, March Madness edition. It's officially kicked off tonight. The playing games, at least on the men's
Yeah,
side. I don't know when the women do that. Is that tomorrow night?
I couldn't tell you, man.
I looked at it today, but I can't remember. I know the Iowa women play, they don't play till Saturday, being a 1 seed. So that's the only game that I just really remember taking place. And I know the men really get going Thursday, correct?
I believe so. Yeah,
Yeah. But the playing games are tonight, Tuesday night. I saw some scores for one. I know it's essentially teams playing for the 16 seed and the 10 seed, correct? They
I believe
explain.
you are correct.
Yeah, I've heard them explain how they figured all that, but that's just tournament jargon. We won't bore you all with that. You can research it yourself if you'd like. But we're going to make some picks on the men's and women's side. Do we want to do this now? Do we want to pull up our bracket and make the pick together?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, let's do that. How are we going to show? How will it show on the screen? Will it be on yours? I guess we'll find out.
It says you're not allowing me to share my screen. So
There. Now try it. We haven't done this since the last time we did a live bracket on the show. That was only a year or so ago. I can't even remember if we did it. I think we did it last year. I knew we did it
yeah, we
one
did it
year.
last year.
Okay. Is it working now? Good stuff to start the show, by the way. I literally just said shart the show. Hey, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. So let's start off with the women's.
We can start off with either one. Let's go the men's because I have more to talk about on the women's side.
Okay.
Just because I know more of the players, which I never thought I would say, which is kind of weird, but I mean, I never thought I would say that 10 years ago. Knowing what we know now, one and done rule, women players sticking around longer, I mean, it only makes sense. It's logical. Okay, let's start off on the East. Let's just go top to bottom. I think we're both in agreement. UConn, right?
Yeah,
UConn playing 16 seed Stetson. Don't even know where that is. I just know Stetson Bennett, the former Georgia quarterback. Okay. FAU Northwestern 8-9 matchup. Always intriguing. FAU, a Final Four team a year ago. I started off the year strong this year. I don't know how they finished. Apparently not that great if you're an 8 seed, but then again, I mean, you're in the tournament.
yeah.
I,
I believe they still have
I'll
most of their roster from last year too.
Well, how is that? And but then again, maybe coming from the conference, the American Conference, I don't know. I'd be curious to know what their record is. I wish that would show. Um, but just based on, okay, there you go. I mean,
There
not
you go.
bad, not bad, not great, not bad. I'll go FAU in that.
Yeah. I would concur with that.
Northwestern tougher conference, but I mean, yeah, I'll go FAU. And another team that's a Final Four team, national championship game team, San Diego State against UAB. I'll go San Diego State in that as well. I'm basically
Yeah,
making these last two picks just on reputation from the last year.
I think we can all agree Auburn over Yale.
Yes, all two of us will take the SEC champions.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Auburn, by the way. And I think it's funny, like that was the one team that neither of I said I could see four teams winning it. And you said top four, and we both were like, it's probably not going to be Auburn though. And then sure enough,
yeah,
Auburn's the team to do it. Figures.
yeah.
BYU and is it Duquesne? Is that how you
Duquesne,
say
yep.
that? All right. Know nothing about this matchup other than I hear things about BYU.
Yeah,
And, we could bring you expert analysis on these picks, but the person that, or one of the people that correctly predicted last year's Final Four made the picks based on places that she lived. So, does it really matter at this point if you're an expert or not? I don't think so. It's March Madness
yeah,
for a reason. Having said that, I'll still go BYU. Statistics show that one of these are not going to be correct. Some,
yes.
at least one. Somebody's going to upset somebody. I will go. I'll go Illinois over Morehead State, and I'm going to go Drake over Washington State. There's my first technical upset.
Yeah,
Although I don't know that a 10 seed beating a 7 seed is really that much of an upset.
no. I had Drake picked in my other bracket, so I'll agree with you there.
Yeah, I did two brackets. I picked the same national champion in both for both men and women. I did them different, but still had the same national champion. I think there's a clear cut favorite on both sides, men's and women's. I mean, but there's going to be some upsets. We're just going to have to see
Yeah,
how we do. This is never a predictable tournament, at least on the men's side. Even the
nope.
women's side had a lot of upsets last year, so it's getting good on that side too. I'm going to go Iowa State over South Dakota State, the 2 seed beating the 15 seed.
Eating up on the Jackrabbits.
Yeah.
All right. Want to go to the South?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's just do first rounds and then second rounds and go from there.
All right, we'll go ahead and select Houston on
All right,
that
we're going
one.
to go Houston.
A&M and Nebraska, another 8 and 9.
Nebraska apparently has a really good player that played high school ball in Japan. I
Yeah,
learned this today. Apparently, one of the players to watch. I've this again. This is a toss up just because I don't know a lot about either team. I know about Texas A&M.
A&M lost to the Hogs twice, so that's going against them
Let's
in
go
my book.
Nebraska. Let's go
Yep.
Nebraska in that. That's right. A season sweep over Texas A&M. I'm Arkansas. That is. So that means I'm definitely going Nebraska. What do you think about that? By the way, a lot of Hog players entering the transfer portal. A lot of people on social media complaining about it. My thoughts are clean house.
Yeah.
This is a good thing. We don't want that team coming back because that was it was a crap show this year.
Yeah.
I couldn't wait for the season to end after 6 games.
Yeah.
I had seen
Experiment
enough.
gone bad.
Yeah.
So,
All right, and that's all we're going to talk Arkansas basketball here. The season's over. Moving on to next year, or moving on to the March Madness, and we'll see what happens next year. Wisconsin, James Madison. You're already hovering over Wisconsin.
I am.
Here's the thing. I watched James Madison at the Purple Onion and Cabot. I was eating dinner. Check out the preview on that. They have a really good record. They beat Arkansas State in the Sun Belt Championship game. Look at that
31 and
record.
3.
A, a 12 always beats a 5. Well,
They do.
yeah. Um, a 4 and a 13 is also an upset alert round. You don't have to agree with me on this. You can overrule it if you want, but I'm going to go James Madison.
Hey, we got to pick 112 over a 5, right?
I mean, statistically, we should.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go James Madison. And that's what's, well, one, they dominated like in the Sun Belt Championship game. And you could look at their record and see why. I was like, okay, that's a superior team. That's definitely a tournament team. Duke over Vermont, but let's go to the preview on that. I just want to see. I was gonna say Vermont is typically pretty solid, but it's Duke. So I'm gonna go Duke in that. I imagine you'll agree.
Yeah, I have Duke picked to move on.
All right, Texas Tech against North Carolina State. North Carolina State, the ACC champions. Do they stay hot? I had NC State in at least my second bracket winning this matchup. I
I
don't.
believe I
Yeah,
had Texas Tech. So,
yeah,
I mean, very similar.
yeah. I like Texas Tech's record better. Of course, North Carolina State ACC champion, so they're just kind of riding a hot wave right now. We'll go Texas Tech in that. Kentucky, Oakland. What is Oakland's record?
23 and 11.
I don't even know what conference they come from. I mean, they either have a really strong strength of schedule or they're just they're their conference champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's Kentucky. I was like, is that Oakland schedule? Wow. I'll go Kentucky. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, overthinking it.
Good old Florida.
Florida. I'm not sold on Florida.
Now,
I don't know who's coming out of that game though. It's what Boise State, Colorado. Is that what it is?
I believe so.
You know what? I'll go Gators. They did get to the SEC championship game. Auburn handled them pretty good toward the end, but yeah, I'll go with
See that
Florida in there.
injury in that game?
I did not.
The
I
guy
was kind of
broke his
half paying
shin,
attention.
came through the skin. Looked
For
very
who?
painful. Uh,
Florida?
yeah, for Florida.
Ouch. Well, they're down one guy. Um, I'll still take Florida. Um, Marquette. Go ahead and mark up Marquette over Western Kentucky. Now, throughout the 90s, Western Kentucky was always in the tournament, always had a great record. They were kind of the dominant team at that level. So a lot of history with Western Kentucky, but yeah, I'll take Marquette. A lot of history with Marquette too.
I want to do the West or Midwest.
Let's go West. Let's go North Carolina over Wagner.
Another 8 and 9.
8 and a 9, and it's an interesting matchup. Let's go to the
Yeah.
preview.
So I know who I like in this one.
I like Mississippi State in this.
Yeah. I like the Bulldogs.
Michigan State may have gotten in from strength of schedule and reputation. I'll go Miss. I know Mississippi State has won some big games, especially in the SEC tournament. Didn't they knock off Tennessee?
Yes. Beat them like they stole something.
So yeah, we'll go Mississippi State. I like St. Mary's over Grand Canyon
Yeah.
just because I don't know how you play ball, just down in that massive crack in the earth, but you know played well enough to get into the tournament. It's a 5 and a 12 matchup though, so we'll see. Alabama Charleston. I'll go Alabama in that. Clemson, New Mexico. Clemson has a good team. Haven't been great at times, but it's an interesting matchup. For whatever reason, I feel like this game's going to be close. Playing at the FedEx Forum in Memphis. I will. I'll go Clemson.
Going
What say you?
Clemson. I believe I picked New Mexico. in
I
mind.
feel like
So
that could go either way. I feel like that could go either way.
all right, we
I'll
got
take Baylor over Colgate, the national champion from a few years ago. And this is interesting. Nevada, Dayton. Very interesting matchup. I would say this is a toss up. You know what? I'll take Dayton's always interesting, always into the tournament. Of course, Nevada's previous head coach, Eric Musselman. 10 over 7 is uh I'm still gonna go Dayton though, just because it's Dayton. I feel like if it were anybody else in that spot, I'd take Nevada. But
we'll
I'll
go
go
ahead.
Dayton there. Let's
Gonna
go
do
Air
Arizona over Long
let's
Beach.
let's go Arizona. All right,
All
now
right.
to the Midwest. And Purdue, of course, got ousted in the opening round last year. Made me look like a
Yeah.
genius because everybody knows how I feel about Purdue.
Yeah.
I'll reiterate it. I believe they're the most overrated
Yep.
program in men's college basketball,
Yep.
but they are legitimate. I'll take Purdue in this game, opening round. I can tell you this right now, though. I don't see Purdue getting past the Sweet 16.
No.
All right. So Utah State, TCU, what are the records there?
So we got Utah sit at 27-6 and TCU at
Oh,
21-12.
tougher conference, obviously, in the Big 12. But mm, I think I like TCU there. What about you?
Yeah, I think I have TCU picked in my other bracket.
Okay. Gonzaga, McNeese. Of course, that's where Ja Morant went, but Ja Morant is not there anymore. Gonzaga is having a down year though for Gonzaga.
Yeah.
What's McNeese's record? Wow.
30-3.
Wow. No Ja Morant, no problem. You know
Heck
what?
not.
You know what? A 12 has to beat a 5. Oh gosh, but still it's Gonzaga.
Yeah.
I'll say Gonzaga.
Like I say, we already have 112 picked, so
Yeah. I'll take Kansas over Samford.
yeah.
I like South Carolina over Oregon. Carolina's a really good team. I like Creighton over Akron
Yep.
because Creighton is just always solid. It's Creighton. Texas against either Virginia or Colorado State. I don't like what I've seen from Virginia this year. I'll go Texas in that, even though they haven't been the same since Chris Beard left, but I'll take Texas that game, and I'll take Tennessee over St. Peter's. Is St. Peter's the team that made that massive run a couple of years ago, all the way to like the
Uh,
Elite Eight or something?
I don't think so. They might, maybe.
They had that white kid with the mustache, kind of goofy looking guy. I want to say it was St. Peter's. I'm pretty sure. I mean, he was a good player for him. All right, so second round. This might be a two-part episode. I don't know. We'll see. We still got to do the
See.
women's. I like UConn over FAU, but I really like that second round matchup. They didn't take it easy on UConn, did they?
No, they
And
didn't.
that's the number one overall seed. All right, but I like UConn over FAU. Man, that's a tough second round matchup. Auburn over Auburn and San Diego State. This is interesting. I like Auburn in this, but I feel like that one could go either way. I feel like San Diego State's going to play them tough.
BYU and Illinois.
Yeah, and we jumped the gun a little bit, or did we? No, we didn't. Okay.
No.
Oh, BYU and Illinois. I don't feel confident in really saying either one of these
Either one of them, yeah.
is really a Sweet 16 team. You know what? I'll go Illinois, I suppose. And Iowa State and Drake. I like Iowa State. Big 12 champions, right? All right, let's move down to the West. Okay. North Carolina, Mississippi State. I like North Carolina.
Alabama and St. Mary's.
That's another I think is going to be a close game.
Yeah. I think I had St. Mary's beating them in my bracket. So
I have them beating them in one. I will. I'll agree with that. Let's go St. Mary's over Alabama. I don't feel confident in Alabama. I think Alabama could get to the Sweet 16. I don't think they get beyond that.
yeah,
Baylor, Clemson. I like Baylor,
Baylor.
and I like Arizona over Dayton.
Yep.
And I didn't think too hard on that.
No. Houston,
T-
Nebraska.
I like Houston over Nebraska. Ooh, I'm thinking about this one. James Madison,
Yeah.
Duke. You
I think
know,
this
I will.
I think this is my big upset that I picked.
Well, who did you have in yours?
I think I had James Madison.
You know what? Let's do it. Let's go James Madison over Duke. I don't feel confident Duke would get past
Yeah.
the Sweet 16. And Kentucky, Texas Tech. I'll say let's preview that. I would say I can't remember the records. To me, a bit of a toss up of a game. I'll probably say Kentucky in that. Marquette, Marquette over Florida. I feel very good
Yeah.
about that.
Purdue and TCU.
I will say, are you already going to TCU?
It's a habit.
At this point, I will take Purdue in this game. That
All
would be
right.
my pick. That'd be my pick. I like Kansas over Gonzaga, and ooh,
That'll be a tough one.
I think South Carolina's had a really good year. I think Creighton is more tested for these moments. I'll take Creighton over South Carolina, and I like Tennessee over Texas. Okay, Sweet 16.
So we'll stay down here, Creighton and Tennessee.
We can stay down here. Man, I feel like Tennessee could either get to the national championship or even lose a game like this.
Yeah.
I don't know who Creighton's losses have been against. That's
Okay.
that's Tennessee. They're not going to show it, I guess, or do you have to switch?
No, not gonna show it.
Let's I like Creighton, but I really like Tennessee too. I'll go Tennessee in this one.
Baylor and Arizona.
Um I like the Wildcats. I like Arizona in this.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, St. Mary's, North Carolina. I like North Carolina.
Now do we have Purdue going out?
I have Kansas over Purdue. Don't have Purdue getting past the Sweet 16. Maybe they could, but I don't see it. They hardly ever do, it seems like. So,
Yeah,
all right, I just want to start right there.
yeah. Go Kentucky Marquette.
I like Marquette over Kentucky, and I like Iowa State over Illinois. I like you.
UConn.
I like
Oh yeah,
UConn over Auburn. Good year for Auburn, but I see that luck ending there. And I will go Houston over James Madison. Sweet 16, pretty good for James Madison.
yeah. All
Okay.
right,
Which one?
we go UConn Iowa State.
All right. What are you thinking there? Give us your insight on these two here.
I don't have much of an insight. I'm rolling with UConn pretty much.
I will also say UConn. All right. What about the next one?
Houston
Houston
Marquette.
Marquette.
I think I have Houston going on.
I'm
Of course, I don't know. Houston also seems to
to lose
sputter
games
out
like
about this
this.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. What's their record again? Because they're probably like the 2
30 and
seed.
4. Yeah.
We'll go with Houston. Got to get over that hump sometime. But I wouldn't be surprised if Marquette won that game. I like Arizona over North Carolina.
Me too. Then Tennessee and Kansas.
This is not easy. I believe Kansas started the year number one, which I never understood because even though UConn lost like three guys, I mean they reloaded. Um, and to me, should have still been the clear cut number one. You know what? I'll go Kansas.
Ooh, okay.
But do you agree? What do you think? It sounds
I
like you
rolled
got
with
Tennessee.
I rolled with Tennessee. Yeah.
You know what?
I have at least
Go
I have
ahead.
at least one SEC team in the Final Four.
Yeah, I'm gonna backtrack. I'm gonna go Tennessee also. I have in my other brackets, I have Tennessee winning one and I have Kansas winning one. But I will take Tennessee in that. All right, so we got a 1-2 matchup on both sides of the Final Four. Houston against Tennessee, UConn against Arizona. I like UConn over Arizona. Let's just get that out of the way. And this is interesting. You know what? I have Tennessee. It seems like I have Tennessee either in the Final Four or getting to the championship the last few years. It seems like under Rick Barnes, and they don't do it. Man, I'll say Houston.
Two number ones.
I'll say Houston, the national championship. This would be a matchup I would look forward to seeing, but I still got UConn. If I were betting my house or my kidney on it, I would bet UConn.
About the
And
score. How many total points?
I'll say UConn 86, 77, 86, 77. So whatever that is.
Is that like
86, 77.
like 163?
Yes, 163. And we don't have to enter all that stuff. But we can submit it and see how we did. Is it under yours?
Yeah, it's under mine.
Okay.
Golly. What is my password?
You don't have the same password for everything?
No, I don't think so.
All right. Well, this will clearly be a two-part episode because I'll spend just as much time on the women's side, I'm sure. More to talk about there. But let's let's talk we can talk a little bit more about the men's side. One, which are you excited about more? Are you more excited about the men's or the women's tournament? Or is that even a fair question? Because I feel like it could be answered two different ways. I'll give you my perspective. I'm more excited about the men's tournament, just like as
Yeah.
far as all the games, because you know it's going to be chaos because we see that every year. The women's side, I know the players. Like I know the players, so I'm excited to see them and see some of these players that I've not seen before. I'll touch up on that in part two. That'll basically be the NCAA women's bracket episode. But as far as just the games themselves, I'm really looking forward to the men's tournament. Just because you know it's chaos, it's March Madness. Even though we did this bracket here, it's probably going to be busted by round 32. So
It's going to be busted by Friday. So
yeah, and who are the stars to even watch? Like all I could think of, like by name, is Zach Edey. Just the tall guy from Purdue, who scouts aren't even sure if he can be successful in the NBA just because of how
yeah,
big he
I don't
is.
see him being successful in the NBA.
Yeah,
But
they just don't see how he can play defense at that level. But I don't know. I haven't watched much of Purdue other than just knowing they seem to stumble early in the tournament and have since the '90s.
yeah,
So yeah, I don't have and like the national champions, UConn can't name a player. Cannot I can name a women's UConn player more than I can, or easier than I can name a men's player. Of course, I can only name one for on the women's side, Paige Beckers. But I mean, she's a star. But yeah, the UConn men, I mean, great program. Danny Hurley is probably the face of the men's college basketball right now. Just national champion a year ago. Very very insightful, fun to listen to, witty, and kind of I don't know how to really describe it. I just enjoy hearing him on interviews when he's being talked to or asked questions, etc. But yeah, Danny Hurley probably the face of college basketball on the men's side now with everybody gone. Coach K out, Jay Wright from Villanova out, all these coaches leaving because of the transfer portal and NIL and all that. We're seeing
yeah.
that. I mean, we've seen that in college football now too. But can't name a star on the men's side of the bracket, but I do very much look forward to watching the games this weekend. I mean, it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll watch the Iowa women Saturday. I believe it's at 2 o'clock that they play. But other than that, I'm just finding whatever game's on, and I'm
Say
tuning in.
I'll finally watch the Iowa women.
You didn't
So
watch them
looking
any in the
forward
Big
to it.
Ten tournament, did you? Yeah.
I did not. No.
See, I look forward to watching, like, well, one, the Iowa women, but two, some of these stars I've not seen play. Uh, in particular, I'll save that for the next episode. You'll have to click the next episode to find that out. But tell you what, before we get out of here, how about some quick golf updates? It's golf updates with Brad time.
Golf updates with Brad. Well, this weekend was very interesting tournament there at the Players Championship at TPC Sawgrass. Xander Schauffele and Wyndham Clark led They swapped leads. I think Xander was tied for the lead on Thursday. Then Wyndham came and got the lead on Friday. Shoffley was back in the lead on Saturday. And the eventual winner, which was last year's winner, uh,
The guy that won it.
yeah, the guy that won it, hell, he won. He won last week
I
too.
could see it leaving your
Um,
brain. Like
yeah, it just all left
well,
my
no,
brain.
well, it was almost like you were trying to look for it. Like, yeah, I got this thing. Just let me get it out of the filing cabinet. And you were looking, and you realized it wasn't there. That's what it looked like. I could see it on your face. But
No, yeah,
anyway,
no.
continue.
It's Mr. Scotty Scheffler did the unthinkable. He's the first player to win back-to-back Players Championships. He came, I think he was 5 shots out of the lead on Sunday, shot 8 under, and took the lead. And yeah, he got to sit around in the clubhouse, wait to see if either Wyndham Clark or Shoffley was going to tie him and force a playoff. They both had opportunities on 17 and 18 to make some putts, tie him at -20, and yeah, they failed. Wyndham Clark had one go in and out, which was tough to watch. He had a little bit too much pace on the putt, and yeah, it pretty much touched every part of the cup and did not go in. So
It's at the very bottom of it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah, it
so
was made for a pretty exciting finish.
yeah,
So
Scotty Scheffler shot 8 under in the final round.
yeah, just
Wow,
on Sunday. Yeah.
nice. That's a good way to make sure you leave with the dub. All right, so that was golf updates with Brad, and we'll end the show by giving a shout out to the Arkansas Razorback baseball team, still #1 overall in the Division I rankings, or just college baseball rankings, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Unanimous number 1. Yeah.
yes, woo pig on that. I know they've won their last 4 games, so shout out DVH and company. Go Hogs! All right, so that concludes part 1 of this week's episode. We'll come back with part 2, women's NCAA tournament bracket. So see y'all in a bit.